Okay, let's evaluate 18x over y. Now the good news is the x and the y, they've given us values. They are x equals -2, y equals -6. All we have to do is drag and drop these two guys into the x and y respectively. Now, one of the first things I like to do is to substitute directly the x and the y by writing the amounts right next to the x and y. So we have an x value of -2, so I'm going to put -2 on top right there. That's going to replace the x. And the y is -6. I'm going to replace that with a -6. So let's rewrite this equation. Now remember, when we're talking with the language of algebra, when you have two variables or two numbers next to each other, it means multiply. And when one's on top of the other, it means to divide. That's how we're going to evaluate these guys. So let's work out the top here. We have 18. And they're next to each other, 18 and the x. So we multiply by -2. So let's put the -2 there. I'm going to put it in brackets because there's a negative. All over underneath, we have y will be replaced by -6. So we have -6 down below. So let's work out what's going on at the top here. Now we've got a positive 18 multiplied by a -2. Now we know when we multiply a positive times a negative, we get what? Positive times a negative, we get a negative answer. So the answer will be negative on the top. So let's put a negative there. So 2 times 18, that's going to give us -36 all over. Drag and drop the -6 right over there. Let's put the -6 there. Now we know that in the language of algebra or fractions, we always divide when we have one on top of the other. So the -6 divides into the -36. Now the good news is they're both negatives. And when you divide a negative divided by a negative, you're going to get a positive. They're both the same. Negative, negative, it's going to be a positive. So let's divide the 6 into the 36. Some of you may have worked that out already. 6 is into 36, goes in 6 times, because we know 6 times 6 is 36. So that divides into that. It equals, yes, it's a positive, 6 into 36. And there you go.